So Ali, most founders and CEOs, they have this outward show of success. Inwardly, they are facing all kinds of fear, doubt, anxiety, stress. This is what I call the CEO's trap. So the moment I said that, what is the one thing that popped in your mind which relates to you and your situation?
One of the things that is again consuming me mentally, eating my brains and giving me like sleepless nights is when we have a great meeting with a customer. We they love the idea, but then they disappear. It's completely silence, and so it's a whole I mean it's like they're ghosting us, and that silence really drains a lot of our energy because it's like you go for a good first date, you think that you both like each other, and then there's silence, and you don't want to be pushy, so you don't text or you don't follow up. You don't want to follow up. And at the same time, you don't want to also completely leave them by their own. And this like a constant torture that, uh, yeah, it really hurts. Yeah.
So, if this has been happening often,
Yes.
that it is really bothering you, and that's why you brought it up. What do you make this mean for yourself?
That's again, we are not good enough. Our solution or whatever we are presenting is not addressing their needs to some extent, but they're not telling that straight to our face. Because honestly, if they come and say no, it feels better than them going silent. Because we don't know, so we are just left on air. But yeah, it usually ends up us myself doubting myself, doubting what we do, um, and I would never understand why uh, would they just go silent.
So you said something very interesting that if they say no, you like it or welcome it or whatever. So why would they say no?
Because maybe what at the time we are, our solution is not a priority. They are facing some
It's
other
not working for
challenges.
them.
Yeah, it's not working for them exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's not working for them. They said no.
Correct.
Now they go silent.
Yes.
Why do they go silent?
Maybe their answer is no, and they don't want to confront you. So they go silent.
No, we can't have uh, answer no for both these outcomes. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to make any progress in our inquiry. So this one is already taken. Doesn't
Yeah.
work for us? No. But this is one of the problems, by the way, because it relates to your own anxiety.
Yes.
So you're saying, okay, if they say it doesn't work for them, they say no, at least I'm relieved. But here, I know they want to say no, but they've gone silent. This is a trap. Put it aside. Get into their world. They have the perfect freedom to say no, or they're keeping silent.
Yes.
And as far as they're processing, like 10 of them are processing, there would be a very rational explanation of when they say no or when they go silent. And this rational explanation cannot be that we don't want, so we say no, and we don't want, so we say stay silent. That doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. 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 Yes.
So they don't want, they say no. They're clear, you're clear, everybody get on with life. So, what is that condition then they stay silent.
They're not convinced enough, or it's not the right time and they want to buy some time. Because I'll reverse it. Like, for example, whenever I get real estate calls, 99% of the time I say no. So I just said, I'm not interested, I'll cut the line. But sometimes I see something that is interesting. I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't also say yes, because right now I'm not in a position to enter that deal. So I don't answer the guy. So he keeps calling me. I just keep it on silence till I feel now is the right time. But then I know who to call, because all the 99% of the people that I said no, I'm not gonna call them. But that one or two guys that I said maybe and I just stopped responding to them are the ones that I might pursue with them in the future. So I think maybe that is the case if they are not having all the answers. They're not convinced enough that first that we are the right ones and now is the right time. I think these are the answers that they still don't have based on the discussion that we had with them. So they don't see the urgency and they don't see if we are the right company that can deliver that to them. I think these are maybe the two reasons that they can be silent.
So you put a proposal. Now there are three possible outcomes. First is no, we don't want, no.
Yes.
The third is yes, we want, yes. The middle is maybe.
Yes.
And when they're in the maybe space, if they say no, they're cutting it off. But when they're in the maybe space, they don't have all the things are not clicking for them to say yes. Like in your case, maybe you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, not the right time. But you're saying maybe because you want to keep gathering the market intelligence, keep filing it away, then you know who to go to. So it's a maybe state.
Yes.
So there is a no, there's a maybe, and there's a yes. What we are discussing is that they're ghosting you and going radio silence. So if it is a no, they're not ghosting you. If it's a yes, they're not ghosting you. So therefore it's maybe.
Yeah.
So let's examine this whole maybe. So there's a very simple ontological model. Ontology is the science of being, who people are being, which deals with this whole buying process or the sales process. So when somebody wants to buy, the fact that they've reached out is obviously there's an interest. Let me do a test. So there is a helicopter company, and there's also a bespoke suit making company. How come you haven't reached out to them to ask them to quote for a helicopter or a suit?
I was of interest.
No, hello, it's not that not interested. It's something that doesn't even occur to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now somebody has reached out to you is not in the same situation. So obviously there is some interest there.
Correct.
Correct. Otherwise, why waste your time? Why waste
Yes.
their time? Correct.
Yes.
So now the maybe state. There are 4 stages, ontological stages, that if the prospect doesn't go through all those 4 stages, it's not going to be a no or a yes. They will remain in the maybe state. Because the maybe state is the safer state to be in. If they say no, they lose. If they say yes, they're not ready. It doesn't work. So these 4 stages, first is, does your thing that you're proposing, does it work? The second is, okay, if it works, will it work for me? The third is all the considerations, the time, the investment, the implementation time, the after sales service, and complications, issues, all of that comes under consideration. And the last stage is procrastination. What's the hurry? So there are these 4 stages on one side, and then there is another stage that goes with this. and that is the experience of being heard. If they do not have the experience of being heard, they will remain in the maybe state. So let's look at these 5 dynamics to see really where people are ghosting you. So let's say you got 10 proposals. If I were to ask you to put them in each of these 5 buckets, you would put some in each of the buckets, right?
Correct.
So do this math with me. 10 proposals, people are ghosting you. How many in the first bucket does your proposal work? Take a guess.
Maybe 10%.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So out of 10, 1. Will it work for me?
That maybe it's around 20%.
So 2.
Yeah.
Considerations.
That's the biggest one. You already have 3 gone, right?
Yeah.
So like 5.
5. Very good. And then the last is it works. It'll work for me. Considerations are all aligned. But what's the hurry?
What is the hurry?
How many?
That is 2.
2.
Yeah.
And any one of them on the experience of being heard.
Any of them?
So we have to put the 10 in these buckets, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So you already put 1, 2, 5.
Yes.
8.
8.
Now 2 left. Are you putting all 2 in?
Also, yeah.
All 2 in the procrastination.
Yeah.
So the experience of being heard, we are not looking at. We're just looking at these 4 buckets.
I think so. Yeah.
Fair enough. No problem. So now when you look at this, it's very clear that the maximum number are getting stuck in considerations. So let's look at how do you take them from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4 to the last stage, which is to buy. And all of these stages, the experience of being heard is required, otherwise they won't move forward. So the first is, does this work? Is all the social proof and testimonials that you can offer them. And these need to be, substantial, as in like a video testimonial or whatever the case is. So does this thing work? Second stage is, will it work for me, is always a test drive. Like you and I, if we go, let's say, to an airport, there's a stationery shop, you want to buy a pen, you're not going to pick up a pen and buy. You're going to take that little pad that they have here and there. You're going to scribble, make those wavy lines, sign your name. I write that it's very good. How does this pen write? I write same sentence which I've been writing for 40 years. Correct? It's a test drive.
Yeah.
Even that there's a test drive. So once it passes the test drive, yeah, this will work for me. So when it passes the test drive, the first and the second, it works for me, but I also want to know, has it worked for many people, and therefore stability.
Yes.
Then the next piece after that is considerations. The time to get it, the cost, the quality, the after sales service, etc., etc., etc. So if I'm buying a $1 pen versus a $1,000 laptop, in the $1 pen, I'm not very concerned about after sales service. But in the $1,000 computer, I'm very concerned. So there will be different combinations of these considerations. So those get negotiated, talked, spoken. Well, you're asking for 120, can you give it to for 100? You said, no, I can't do 100, I can do 110. Okay, now it's matched. So all considerations got sorted. Then comes, what's the hurry? So the urgency has not got established for whatever reason, because they don't see the downside of not going ahead now. And in your case, that's crazy, because the delay is costing them.
Exactly.
So these 4 stages, when you start looking at each of the people who are ghosting you, or you need to identify at which stage these people are in your own estimate without even checking things. You have said 1, 2, 5, and 2 considerations. So, how are you going to now take people past their considerations unless you're listening to them, unless you're clear about their outcomes? If you have just made technical proposals which look good, feel good to you, then it's going to land in all the considerations. Will it work for? We don't know it. Yeah, it looks is okay. His demo piece was okay. But what about the price? What about this? What about that? Most of your proposals are stuck in considerations.
Yes.
And here's the ontological law. And this one is really a hard one to take. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Out of these 4 stages, when you take all the proposals that are stuck and where you find the density, like in your case, 1, 2, 5, 2. So 1 for does it work, 2 for will it work for me, and 5 for considerations, and then 2 procrastination. That the place where they are stuck is where you're stuck in life. Because the law is very simple. You cannot take people beyond where you have reached. If you're stuck there, you're stuck there. And when you're stuck here at the considerations level, and these 2 people that have gone forward, one got blocked here, 2 here, which is fine, which is standard. But 5 here also tells me that these 2 guys are not in procrastination. They're still in some considerations that are remaining. That's why they are. But suppose if you had 1, 2, 1, that is 4, and 6 in procrastination, then it will be very clear that consideration, everything is clear, but you are in procrastination mode yourself. So in this entire conversation, it's very, very clear that you, Ali, are stuck in considerations everywhere in life. And it gets really horrible. Ari, your son, who's 3 years old, comes running to you and says, Baba, tomorrow Saturday, can we go to the beach, or can we go here, can we go there? And you don't have the ability to be spontaneous, childlike, take him in that moment and make sure that he enjoys, because you're stuck in considerations. I've got these 2 proposals to make. If I say yes to him and he wants to go to Abu Dhabi, to the Sea World, assuming it's good weather, that's going to take half a day. Instead of that, what if I take him nearby here? My travel time of 2 hours will get saved, and I'll somehow the other will go. Of course, I'll take him out. It's supposed to be Saturday. But these are all your considerations. And you have all these issues going on, like every company has. So the issues that are urgent create considerations on what is important. So if you're stuck there, no wonder you got 5 proposals out of 10 stuck here and the 2 there. So 7 proposals of yours are stuck in considerations. Now, is there a solution for this? I don't think so.